First, Vermeule's adoption of the unbounded executive legal theory is philosophically inconsistent with his defense of some notion of the common good. An unbounded executive, which he picks up from Carl Schmitt, has no objective limitations on them, and the common good, by contrast, puts limitations such that no executive can be unbounded. Second, Vermeule's adoption of rational choice methodology still shows his inheritance of Chicago school economistic thinking. If we ask ourselves why we should accept an unbounded executive and why that's a reasonable form of government whatsoever, in all of Vermeule's major academic writings, he depends on rational choice methodology. But rational choice methodology is empirically false. It's false psychologically. We know that it's not actually how humans behave, but it's also a false idealized picture of the state, as governmentality and governance empirical studies of the state have shown. Third, because Vermeule continues to use economistic rational choice notions of the state without clarifying their realism or their ontological status, he becomes entangled in a HomoEconomicist view of human individual behavior. This means that he is still part of the most problematic traditions within liberalism, particularly neoliberalism, even though he claims to be a post-liberal. He is ironically subject to the same criticism Martin Heidegger made of Carl Schmitt. Namely, Heidegger said that Schmitt still thinks as a liberal. Fourth, Vermeule's critique of liberalism is distorted by a creeping essentialism and reification. He often in his writings treats liberalism as a kind of ahistorical type that is the same in all times and places. But we know that ideologies are in fact cultural variations with family resemblances and can't be reduced to ahistorical core features. This doesn't mean you can't criticize liberalism. It simply means that Vermeule's critique of liberalism fails. Fifth, Vermeule describes his theory as a form of what he calls Catholic integralism. In fact, both his notion of the unbounded executive and his critique of liberalism run afoul of Catholicism and Catholic social teaching in various ways. For one thing, he doesn't give enough credit to the Catholic Church's affirmation of human rights. This affirmation of human rights makes Catholic social teaching such that it is inimical to any form of unbounded executive power. He also falsely assumes that the church can be collapsed or integrated fully into any form of political society, whereas the church holds that there's a firm distinction between the city of God and the city of man.